Hey, thanks for joining me in the studio. Today we're going to be painting this beautiful scene from the South Island of New Zealand. This is from a workshop we held in the South Island with John Crump and Scott Hamill a couple of years ago. We had 20 or 30 people there. Great workshop, good time. And this is a copy of one of the demo paintings that I did, one of my favorites down there. We were all, out there painting with our easels in the middle of the mountains. I remember just thinking, wow, look at this amazing color contrast between the blues in the mountains and the yellowy oranges in the foreground. I mean, it's just a painter's dream. So that really is the big idea of this painting, is the color contrast, because that's the first thing I loved, and that's what I always try and paint, is the first thing that I love about a scene. And I like to focus in on that, and that's really important. That's the big idea, and we'll talk more about that later. So I'll take you through the painting one brushstroke at a time. I'm not leaving anything out. You get to see all the color mixing and everything that goes into the painting. And we also discuss ideas like the big lighting effect, the big lighting idea for the scene, which is something that a lot of beginners miss out on to the detriment of their work. And it takes a while to get the hang of it, but when you start thinking in terms of how do I light this whole scene to direct the eye and create the mood I'm after, that one thing is the most powerful thing that you can do to improve your painting in a big hurry. So I'll talk you through all of that, as well as brushwork, design, color work, color mixing, texture, and the crisp little finishing details which really make this painting pop and come to life. So I really encourage you to join me, to get your brushes out and paint along with me, and you'll learn about all of these things while we paint this beautiful scene of Golden Valley in New Zealand. Okay, so let's get into it. We've got a 12 by 15 inch Frederick's Ultra Smooth canvas taped out onto a board. This is a plastic palette I use quite often. It's a mid-grey, very, very helpful for judging your values of your colors against. This is, these are Atelier interactive acrylics, and this here is phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, cadmium red light, yellow ochre, acrylamide yellow light, or you could use cadmium yellow light or cadmium lemon, and titanium white. I'm going to use these two brushes, hopefully, to do the whole painting. And what I'm going to do is start off by painting a couch, as they call it. Why would he paint a couch? Aren't we painting mountains? Oh, we're going to start with a couch. So this is just to ease the flow of acrylics onto the canvas. So it's ultramarine blue and white. Let's just whip a bit of that on here to start with. Could use a bigger brush, get it done faster, because this is going to help add a little more color interest to the foreground when we leave some of this stuff showing through the next layers of paint. Hopefully by the time we got the top finished, this stuff will be pretty dry and good to paint over without lifting it off the canvas. Again, I'm trying to avoid the very center, right? So I've moved that off to the right here. That's the little green field there. Yeah, and obviously that's not a bright green, like that's the color there, right? Now, compare it to the brightest green that I could make. All right, you can see it's far from bright green. So if you were to put that bright green back there, it'd just pop out like nobody's business, and I'll show you. All right, totally out of place. So just got to keep them all subdued and all the colors very similar back there. Otherwise, they jump forward and you lose that that beautiful sensation of depth back there. And I'm really going to simplify these sections into just big dark masses, because it's going to create like a gateway, a dark gateway for you to go from the soft shadow from here into the light, and then there'll be the dark and then the light. So it's shadow, light, shadow, light. So that's the big lighting idea of the whole painting. And that big lighting idea is just hugely important in creating a more professional looking painting, because the first thing I always notice with beginner paintings is that they just try and paint everything in the same light, right? So this would all be in light, this would all be in light. Everything's in the same light. They haven't thought, well, how can I make this more dramatic by putting like a spotlight on one area, or having a big soft shadow, or having intermittent lighting to really direct the eye around the canvas. So all these brush strokes are very calligraphic. Each one has a bit of life to it, you know. Because I want my painting to look like it's just a celebration of life and energy and the joy of painting. Make it look like the artist had a ball doing it, which I am. And I hope you do too, if you're doing it now or doing it later. Just enjoy. This time is your time. Should have hopefully turned off your phone and just be loving the creative experience, being in that timeless creative space where nothing else matters except the movement of your brush and the relationship of all of these things on the canvas. Because what else is there except this moment? There is nothing else. Here we go. Ta-da! So a really vibrant little alpine painting. So as always, I hope you enjoyed that and got a lot out of it. And of course you can rewind it all and watch it all again and go through it slower, or try different things with it. Try a smaller painting or a larger painting. Try it in a different medium. Try the different process of painting from the front to the back if you prefer, or just all the darks and then the mediums and then the lights. That's more for oil paints though. It depends what sort of style you're after. Alright, I'll see you on the inside.